The news. Something that happens with Chuck every week, every Wednesday. And it still boggles my fucking mind. The shit that's going on. Man, just thinking 100 years ago, what kind of crazy shit were they talking about back then? 100 years ago, 1926. Damn! Shit was going down then. And baby, shit's going down now. It's like, history's kind of repeating itself. Not fully. I mean, shit is not as crazy, but it has moved into a whole new realm. So let's get into it. It's time to get casually uncomfortable. News Edition with your host, Chuck Jerome. Viewer discretion is advised. All right. Yes, I am Chuck Jerome. And you know it's the news, baby. 8 to 10 articles every Wednesday where Chuck finds some wild shit that's going on. Damn. And look, it's only crazy now because we got the internets. That's a wild place. That's the Wild West now. Before they were just, you go out to the OK Corral and get your fucking trigger finger blown off by Billy the Kid. Now they're just doing some wild shit on the internet. I don't even know what I was going to say there, but all right, let's get into it. So this first article, I'm calling it Vodka Attack. So this guy in Indiana, 46-year-old, attacked a 14-year-old. And this is back on April 14th. Just beat the shit out of this teenager in the streets. Why? Because he was heavily intoxicated. It says the reports say the boy was pushed to the ground, strangled, and then he had handprints on his neck and red marks throughout his body. And he was taken to the hospital and treated for injuries because this guy was fucking wasted. And look, I don't condone that type of violence. I'm all about mutual combat. But I'm not a sneak attack some bitch. You want to fight somebody, hey, talk it out. You say you want to fight, I say I want to fight. Let's duke it out. Or, you've done something crazy and you need your ass beat. That's legit too. But if you're an innocent bystander and you're just doing your thing and someone just comes up and starts swinging on you, I'm not about it. And this is essentially what happened. And so now this guy, he's fucked. He's going to jail. We'll see what happens to him, because even in jail, I talk about it all the time. They're going to be like, run your papers. He's going to get into that jailhouse. He's going to be bunked up with someone, because the jails and the prisons, they just pack them like sardines. So he's going to get in there with his bunkmate and he's going to be like, hey man, what the fuck are you in here for? And he's going to be like, oh, nothing. I robbed a bank. That's what he's going to say. He's going to say something furthest from the truth. And they're going to be like, give me your fucking papers. And they're going to be like, oh, you beat up a teenager? And they're going to look at him. And there's going to be a lot of silence. Oh, so you like fighting, huh? Well, lucky for you, buddy boy. We just started a late night fight club. And either you can fight in this fight club or I'll cut your balls off right here, right now. And the guy goes, I'll fight. I'll fight. Just let me keep my balls. And his bunkmate goes, you know what? Good choice. But you're going to have a preliminary fight. And then the guy just beats the shit out of him. That's how that'll probably go. Even the toughest criminals, they're like, don't fuck with kids. Don't fuck with old people. You leave them alone. So I want to see what happens to this guy. And they'll do some devious shit to you in jail. You know. Yeah. Don't be fucking with people. I remember I saw a video of these two teenagers hanging out on the street corner. You know, they had the camera on them dancing and just, you know, doing their thing. They weren't being menaces. And this guy drives by, gets out of his car, and just fucking sucker punches the one kid and then drives off. There's monsters out there, folks. And I feel like I have talked about this at some point. I don't know. Maybe. You know, maybe this was a couple years ago. So, you know, Casually Uncomfortable has been around for over 5 years now. Damn. Chuck's doing it, baby. Chuck's doing it. But, yeah, we're going to keep moving and talk about some other monsters because these next few articles are... I was like, yeah, we're going to get into this. All right, this article, I'm calling it Hedseth Quote. Probably saying his name wrong. You know what I'm talking about. Old Pete. Old Petey Pete. So, last Wednesday, there was a prayer service that Hedseth was a part of. And what he decided to do was, quote unquote, quote the Bible. And as he started his quote, people thought, hey, man, I have heard this before. and what it was a quote. A quote. Did you hear that? A quote. I don't know where I was going. Where he said a quote. But if you listen to it, it was from Pulp Fiction. And yes, there is an Ezekiel 25:17, but it does not say what Hedseth said. That quote that he was talking about was created by Quentin Tarantino. You know, I just... Again, we're living in an age and an era where you can get all the information that you need. This guy, if he wanted to even expand on any type of quotes from the Bible, okay, he could have gone to Chat GPT. He could have GPT'd that shit. But instead, he said, you know, I really like that movie and the violence that it has in it. And, you know, just the way his, you know, Samuel Jackson's delivery. I got to do something with that. And he did. He, you know, changed up some of it, but essentially that was the Pulp Fiction quote, not from the Bible. And people noticed it And they're like, what the fuck? What are you doing? I just think it's funny. You know, they're trying to take everything and anything and say it's theirs. Or they're trying to take any and everything and spin it their own way for their personal gain. So, you know, he did that to try and, you know, get people. I'm a God-fearing man. Those motherfuckers probably do not believe in any higher form of being. Anything. They probably don't believe in it. But they're going to go out there and lie. Oh, I believe in this and that. And then they're quoting something that's not even real. Some made up shit. And this is what people are going along with. And this is what people are loving. And this is what people voted for. You know, I don't get, you know, into all of that shit. But shit is getting wild now. Very wild. You know, to the point that it doesn't even feel real. I say this all the time. We're in a comic book. This sounds like some shit that I saw and heard on an episode of The Boys. And listen, if you haven't been caught up on The Boys, there's like, yeah, maybe like 4 or 5 episodes, probably more. I don't know. I've been watching so many shows. It's unreal. I'm watching Daredevil, Invincible, and The Boys right now. And every once in a while, I try and throw in Paradise because I haven't finished the 2nd season. Got a lot going on in life. A lot of positive things happening, but, you know, I'll get there. I will get there sooner or later. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's keep moving on. And it will unfortunately be with some more of these silly fucks. This one I'm just calling Vance. Why? Because last week they had a, what's that shit called? Turning Point USA event. And old JD was there. And, you know, he was doing his chitting and chatting. And he made a comment that shocked some people, that kind of made some people go, yeah, I fucking knew that. But what he said was, people don't have any idea how bad the corruption is in Washington, D.C. Yeah, we do. We're seeing glimpses of it on live television, motherfucker. Uncle Donnie's doing whatever the fuck he wants. You don't think some of that shit or most of that shit is corrupt? If there was a way to find out how many people got paid off in the last fucking week, it would boggle your mind. Like, what? Are you crazy? You don't think we know that? And then the people that are, you know, blind to it, you're a dumbass. Like, there's always corruption in D.C. And people are like, dude, and you just said the quiet part loud, dipshit. And it says the clip was viewed by over 2.1 million people. And now I'm one of those people that saw that. I'm like, come on, man. You're not telling us anything that we don't already know. Give us some good news. You're like, hey, there's corruption in the nation's capital. Duh. The fuck? Come on, man. Come on. And you're trying to win people over? See, that's one of those shitty tactics. Give up a little information, get them on your side. Hey, listen, my goodness. Since I've been the vice president, there's corruption all over the place. Dude, they need your signature on some of that shit too. Your hands aren't clean. Motherfucker. We're just so fucked. And again, 3 more years. However you want to spin it, no matter what, 3 more years. And remember the first year? That was back in January. By January, dude, so much shit had been shut down and dismantled. Now we're at war. I don't know. You know, from time to time, I'm like, man, I wish I was a kid again. Didn't have to worry about bills or politics or gas or food. Now I got to worry about all of it. Gas is at $4. That's just where I'm at. You go somewhere on the West Coast, dude, it's probably like $8. We're fucked. All right, let's keep moving. Because I don't want to give these motherfuckers too much energy. And here's another problem with, it's a trickle-down effect. This article's called Jenner. It's talking about Caitlyn Jenner and how she revealed that she's unable to travel internationally after her recently renewed U.S. passport was issued with a male gender marker. Remember when Trump said, hey, listen, if you're transgender and you're biologically a male, that is going to be put on your license. If you're biologically a female, that is going to be put on your license. Look, the old Chuckmeister is all about leaving motherfuckers alone. Just look. If someone wants to be you can be whatever the fuck you want to be. Just leave me the fuck alone. That's it. I do. It ain't bothering you. It ain't bothering me. Why am I getting in your business? Because I damn sure don't want you in mine. So I'm just, go ahead and do your thing. And I remember when Trump had started doing all this pushback and shutting out LGBTQ and, all that stuff. And I knew it was only going to be time before the transgender people that supported him figure out that he don't give a fuck about them. And now it's all coming to light. And this is a transgender person who supported Donald Trump in the infancy of his presidency. And now look, his back is turned. She can't even go out of the country because she doesn't say she on her passport and or identification card. And this is the same woman who won Woman of the Year, a fucking award for Woman of the Year. I'm not going to get into that. But like I said, from the, all the articles that I've already talked about, They don't care about people. It's all a ruse. They're going to make you feel some sort of way so they can continue to get your support. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Well, honestly, all I do know is I'm going to keep doing my thing and leaving people alone. And hopefully, and minding my business. And I hope people can do the same thing. Because the world's just wild. And I just don't know what to say about it. Now, this article is called Hot in, so hot in here. Because now in Georgetown, there's a members only club, and they're having an event on the 24th, which is the night before the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And this is something where apparently you got to pay about $500,000 to join. And they're going to have musical guests and all that type of stuff. And guess who one of the musical guests is going to be? None other than Nelly. I'm not talking Nelly Furtado either. I'm talking Nelly the fucking rapper. I don't understand why this guy would put himself in this situation. Look, I don't understand why any person of color would put themselves in this situation. As a person of color, looking in at how they've been treating people of color, I wouldn't want to be a part of it. I don't know. I don't know why. You hear these, you talk about like old school rappers. A lot of them bucked the system, bucked the rules. And I know this motherfucker's going to get paid, baby. He's going to get, listen, if to join this exclusive club, you're going to have to pay at least $500,000, then guess what? Nelly's going to get paid. But look what they did to Nicki Minaj. Nobody wants to deal with her. They're like, dude, why are you there? He don't want to deal with you. It's all a ruse. And look, I didn't plan on having all these, political, pseudo-political articles. This is just how the chips have fallen this week, folks. I looked at a lot of articles and a lot of shit I didn't care about. But and a lot of shit that I don't want to say care about. A lot of shit didn't make me go, oh, wow. Because that's what Wednesday's about. Oh, wow. I'll talk about that. So now Nelly's probably going to be canceled. And then I didn't know this, but after the Melania movie, they had an event and they had Akon appear. And these people are just doing this so that they can still be, what's the word I'm looking for? They're still trying to be relevant. I haven't heard Akon in the last fucking 15 years. So, I mean, I get it. You're trying to be relevant, but there's other ways to go about it. Not with this creepy fuck. Like, ugh. We'll see. I definitely want to see how this plays out. How many people start just snapping their fucking country grammar CDs? We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's keep moving on. This next article is called Meth Baby. And what happened here, and if you could, you could probably guess what state this happened in. And if you said, oh, Florida, then you would be 100% correct. So this mom exposed her baby to meth by preparing her baby formula with water she used to clean needles. Yeah, I'm going to let that fucking sink in. Police said that she brought her baby to the hospital because she was like, something's wrong. What's wrong with my baby? What's happening with my baby? And then they're like, we don't know, but we're going to do some tests. And one of the tests was a drug test. Tested positive for methamphetamines. And they're like, ma'am, how did this happen? And she was like, oh, I guess when I was making the bottle, getting that shit ready, I used the water that held the needles for my drugs. And this just sounds crazy. I mean, it is. It's fucking nuts. And I'm just like, what the fuck? But this is the world we're living in. Needless to say, she cannot make contact with the baby, and she's in jail on a $20,000 bond. And if someone pays that, you're a fucking fool. That's all I can say. That's crazy. Like I said, when I look for articles, I scroll through them like, oh, that's okay. That's okay. Wow. And if I can get a good wow factor from myself, then I'm like, all right, I'm talking about it. So yeah, that's where we're at, folks. 2026. All right. Let's do one more article. And like I said, I find articles and I go, wow. And this is definitely another wow article. Guess where this one's from? A woman was arrested after throwing a glass beer bottle at a 3-year-old who approached her to check on her after she fell off of her bicycle. And if you said, Florida again, ding, 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 you're our winner. I don't have any gifts, but just know you are a winner. And this woman is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It doesn't say what time of day this was. I don't know why a 3-year-old is walking up to a random person. Doesn't say the parents were there. It didn't say, oh, the parents, stepped in and saw this woman throw a bottle. No, bystanders saw her hurl the bottle at this child. And the child ducked, but they also said if this would have hit the child, it would have definitely caused damage. And they also said during her arrest, she was unable to provide a coherent explanation of the encounter. But she did say that she believed she was being attacked. That's why she threw the beer bottles. Wow. That's all I can say. Fucking wow. These people are crazy. And the woman was, booked into jail and with a bond set for $10,000. Damn. Like I said, the world is wild. People trying to get you from every angle. But you can't let them. You fucking can't let them. All right, I'm getting out of here. It's going to be a wild week for the rest of the week. I'll keep you posted on Monday's episode. So you just, stay tuned. But all right, let's hit that music so Chuck can skedaddle. Don't forget Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Casually Uncomfortable. Twitter at Casually Unchuck. Let your friends know. All right, be safe, have fun. And I'll see you Monday. It's Wednesday. I'll see you Monday. And as always, don't be a piece of shit. Thank you. Don't add to the fuckery of the world. Peace.